All right. Are you guys ready for this?
Oh, so
No,
ready.
but
I am
yes.
so ready, dude. I'm so ready right now.
Okay.
You don't even know how much podcast I'm ready for.
Anyways, sorry.
Go.
Yes.
All right.
So let's do it.
Go.
Welcome to the Stand-Up live every Wednesday and Friday at 11 a.m. The Lord's time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time if you're in the Valley.
13 a.m. crazy time.
Yes. Jose Valim did go, can we meet at 13 a.m.? And I was like, I got this. I know what you're talking about.
Time.
All right, back on topic. Today we are doing Jira bought a browser unironically yesterday. Jira.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna technically and actually you right now. They bought 2 browsers.
Oh, true. They did. They
Arc
bought
and
one
Dia's
company,
nuts, okay?
2
Those
browsers.
suck.
Yeah, tell him, Trent. Tell him.
Okay, so this is more. Okay, so the reason why I want to bring this up isn't because I think this topic is the single most interesting topic. I just want to see Casey get confused. Like, that's actually my primary reason for bringing this one up to the stand-up.
Oh, he's
which
confused.
is all right. So yesterday, Atlassian. Casey, are you familiar with Atlassian and some of the wonderful tools they have created?
No, I do. I have heard of them vaguely. I am like vaguely aware, right? I know they do some like Git-like thing. Trash, I think, before had said it was Bitbucket, which, if I remember correctly, was like a like that was before Git. That's what they used before they stiffed Linus on it, right?
That was like Bit Enforcer, or Bit Warden, or Bit something.
Is
Okay.
it
It
GitLab
was
or
something
Bitbucket?
different.
It's one of those, man.
No. Atlassian owns Bitbucket that became Stash.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, we
okay,
use that. That thing
What
sucks.
was there? So originally, way back when, before all y'alls was born, the kernel team for like so Linus like started using
The
this.
tech tips guy?
No, yes, the Linus Tech Tips, the guy who wrote the Linux operating system.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to mix those two up all the time.
BitKeeper. Casey, it's BitKeeper was the
BitKeeper,
thing.
okay.
And it wasn't Linus that did that. It's somebody on Linux team broke the terms of service with BitKeeper and reverse engineered their protocol. And they said they wouldn't. And that's what caused them to have to switch, because then they were getting dropped.
Well, I just meant that's what made Linus write Git, right? Is they were like, all right, I guess we got to do our own thing now. That was the only thing I remember. Okay, so that was BitKeeper. So that means I literally have no idea what this company does. I knew I knew they did
Casey?
some kind of like Git-like thing. I have no idea. Never touched it.
There's gonna
Honestly,
be
you're
a
the luckiest person
confluence
in the
of
world.
feature.
Go for it. No, TJ has
Dang
to
it!
go.
Dang it, Trash!
That ruined it.
Ah!
It was so good. Trash, you
Josh,
ruined it.
run it back for me.
I never said anything.
Use AI to make this work, Josh.
There's gonna be a confluence of features like you've never seen before. Something like that. I don't remember what I was gonna say because I got too mad.
Hey, Casey,
Yeah.
you're going to have a confluence of
Trello.
ticketing. Trello. Oh, yes. Okay. So Casey, they make Confluence, which is like the
Trello.
world's worst wiki. So if you're not familiar with like wikis, somehow Confluence is the only known like product that you cannot search with. That is meant to be for searching for documents for teams to use, except in the search bar autocomplete. Search bar autocomplete. Anybody, please type 1 in chat. To say it in the YouTube comments right now. The autocomplete is the best search of all time, and then everything else about Confluence you cannot use at all. It's just absolutely garbage. It is crazy. Whether you're a Vibe coder or a handcrafted free-range NeoVim user, you still need CI to be able to build your binaries, run your tests, or make your releases. That's where Blacksmith comes in. It takes your GitHub actions, and with a one-line change, makes them faster and more cost-effective. Not only that, but you can finally get visibility into your CI pipeline right when things go wrong. We're happy to have them as our sponsor for this episode because just like us, this one is truly a no-brainer. Sign up and enjoy faster GitHub action workflows at a much lower price. Blacksmith, twice the speed and up to 75% reduction in costs. Check them out at blacksmith.sh. Now back to the stand-up.
Everything's garbage.
I heard after Elon bought X, the entire search team went over to Confluence. That's what I heard.
Confluence search is worse than Twitter. Like objectively
It is actually worse.
It's objectively worse.
You didn't think it was possible, but it's worse.
They've managed to figure out how to make something that shows
So-
none of the words you type in.
Casey, you know everything you love about corporate enterprise culture and software?
Yeah.
So it turns
Yeah.
out, you know how like Frito-Lay owns every snack you find in the grocery store?
Yep.
Like even if there's 7 different ones? Atlassian is the Frito-Lay of enterprise software. You're
I
like,
see.
oh my goodness, I can't believe that they're taking 17 minutes to load up this custom page with 37 different tags for every single ticket that they have with story points and t-shirt sizes, and everybody has 13 ways to interact with the ticket. That thing is also made by the same people that can't figure out how to search text in your wiki. Same people.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Dude.
Makes
And
sense.
they also do Stash, which Stash is actually the objectively worse version of GitHub. Which I know that is shocking to say, but
For now. For now.
So since they had nothing to do with BitKeeper, which is the only thing I actually vaguely knew, because we looked at it briefly at Rad at the time, way back when, before Git existed. So Bitbucket, which I guess is now Stash, is what exactly? Are they literally just running Git with the front
imagine-
end on top of it, or
imagine
what is
GitHub.
it?
It's just GitHub.
imagine GitHub for corporations. Private hosted GitHub for corporations.
Isn't GitHub also for corporations?
This was before, and plus you get to own it, so it's not like
Okay.
like it's like self-hosted. That's one of the big differences, is that you
Okay.
can you can commercially self-host your
I see.
version of it, so that way you own everything. Whereas GitHub's like, we own everything. You get to say you get your own little slice on our stuff.
Right. We won't show it to anyone else except us.
Yeah,
Right.
except for Copilot. Copilot
Yeah.
will love your stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I
and
didn't
anyone in our
realize,
company who wants to look at it.
You can self-host GitHub. Okay, well, this was at one point you couldn't. That's this was the thing. But
What were you saying, Trash?
all right,
No,
we're
I
getting
was
kind of
saying-
distracted.
Well, Teach brought up Frito-Lay, so I Googled what Frito-Lay owns, and that they make all my favorite chips. It's amazing.
Which are
Sun chips,
okay.
Doritos,
All right.
sour cream and
Sun
onion
chips.
Ruffles,
Hey, someone clip this.
Smart Food, white cheddar popcorn,
Yep, that's a good one.
Cheetos, Tostitos, salsa.
Were you
Come
about to
on!
say tortillas? Trash, be honest.
love me
it
some
sounded like you
tortillas.
were halfway to tortilla.
Some
You were
vaginas
very
and tortillas?
Look, if it's a
I'm a big fan
flotilla,
of
it's a
chicken
tortilla.
vaginas.
Like, they're spelled the same way.
Chicken
okay.
vagina on a tortilla, please.
Delicious.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so that is what Atlassian is. They've always built developer productivity, very heavy air quotes on the word
Right.
productivity tools.
Right.
But it's always been
Right.
enterprise-focused productivity. And yesterday,
Okay.
the CEO drops a 2-minute video on why they acquired a browser.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the best quote I personally think of the video,
Okay.
which is,
I already know.
some people use browsers to browse,
Hence the
whereas
name.
other people use browsers to work.
Okay.
And that's why we spent $610 million in an all-cash offer to acquire this company with one product that people loved, but they abandoned, and a new AI one that all I can find is people who hate.
And hold on, but so at first I thought, holy cow, they spent a lot of money, cash on hand money, to be able to buy this. But then I realized Windsurf, which is a tertiary clone of VS Code, sold for like $3+ billion.
Except it didn't, right? Wasn't it more like they just took the people and literally left Windsurf with the
No,
company or something?
Google did that, but then Devin bought the rest. So Google got one part of it, and Devin got the other part. Google took the
They got
parents.
two
Devin took the
Christmases now.
kids. Yeah, they have two Christmases
at
now. Very,
Windsurf.
very confusing.
So here's what I would like to know, if I may ask. In this particular case, based on everything you said about this company, who cannot implement text search properly, I'm guessing they did not actually write a browser. So
No,
is
no,
this just like we reskinned, WebKit?
We got to
or
back
Chrome or-
up, Casey. We got to
Yeah.
back up. Sorry. Atlassian is the parent company that purchased the browser company. So the browser company
Browser
is
company
the
of
one,
New York.
Browser company of New York. True. Which,
Not to be confused with
honestly,
the browser company of somewhere else.
Can I say?
Exactly.
I do
true.
want to say that's a pretty sick name.
Yeah.
I actually think of all the things that they made, their name is the coolest.
Okay.
So I could do Browser Company of California, and I
You
would
could
be
trash
okay.
unless it's taken. That's kind of Google's thing, but maybe you could maybe
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
You could be the other browser company. But can you just
It's a Chromium fork. So they made a Chromium fork first in they made Arc. Arc was this browser that was like a Chromium fork, but they did a lot more stuff than like normal for these Chromium forks. They wrote like their own whole like UI kit thing and all this other so that you could do a bunch of stuff that was not possible to do before in a Chromium fork. They like moved tabs around and let you do like tab groups. And so they took like everybody's favorite extensions and built it like faster and better in like a native way that was supposed to work better for everybody. And people were like, wow, this browser's sick. I love tabs on the side. I'm going to make that my whole personality is that I have tabs on the side of my browser instead on the top. I'm so much cooler and better than you.
It is better. It is objectively better to have tabs
Thank
on
you
the
for
side.
proving my point. And so then after they had that for a while, they were not getting a lot of market share. Believe it or not. Not a lot of normies thought, tabs on the side is worth me figuring out what the heck browsers are. So then they were like, you know what we need to do? Casey, can you guess what they needed to do after they didn't get market share?
Yeah, I mean, they did it, like you said, they did AI, I'm sure. I mean, that's obvious, right? AI pivot is like that, you know, just where, there's literally just the thing where it's like, it's like someone is dropping money out of the top of a building, and there's all these like dudes with buckets running like
I need to cash in on some
and
AI
like it's
money,
coming
for
down
real.
on the AI side, and they're all
True.
running over there hoping to catch some of it before they stop dumping the money out of the top.
I need to catch them for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Hey,
and
Trash,
for
are
real.
you tasting like a wave of nacho flavor over there or anything that you want to report?
Dude, like, I just finished my bowl of cereal, and I was like, I'm still hungry, so.
Does anyone have a connection at Frito-Lay in the audience? Please, if you're a YouTube viewer later or you're in Twitch chat right now,
Drew.
At least half of the people in this call would shill Frito-Lay like none other on this podcast. Just throwing it out there.
For real.
Okay, so
Back to topic. Yep, sorry.
So
Go.
literally, somebody just spent $610 million to buy a browser that because they put the tabs on the side.
So, well, here's the deal: is they built that browser, so that was called Arc. But then, of course, as TJ said, no one used it. So then they actually built a second one called Dia.
Awful.
And Dia is
After
supposed to be
D's
all
nuts.
after D's nuts. That's what it's named for. And apparently, it was so heavily AI indifferent that they actually had to roll back some of it and kind of go a bit more traditional than they were originally going for on it because people just couldn't understand it at all. And
they had-
Atlassian saw this browser and they said, "We'll give you 610." And you know what? We need an AI browser. And that was the whole
got a
pitch
joke.
of the 2-minute meeting.
Oh, just wait, Brian, stop. Trash said he has a joke.
I got a joke.
Play it, Trash.
They had no idea what they were doing.
I don't even get it. I'm actually missing the joke.
I have no idea what the joke is at all, but I don't know what the software is either. So
The browser's called Dia, so I said they had no idea what they're doing.
Oh, man. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
All right.
Did that just fly over everyone's head except for Dia?
Dude, I couldn't help it because I was thinking of idea as an intelligent. And I was like, trash, it's a very different set of
Oh
productivity tools.
No, chat got it. Trash. Chat is spamming.
They all got it. They were spam. They get it. Man. At least someone gets
Trash.
me.
Dude,
very good.
I'm getting that into a short just for me and you. I don't care if no
wait,
one else
but
watches
Prime,
that.
what, or I guess I should say, Trash, are you sure they didn't have a idea what they were doing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, they definitely had a couple ideas. I don't even know.
No,
I'm gone.
Trash,
I'm done.
finish the sentence. You got to think of something. Don't leave it hanging. Figure it out.
Dude, AI idea, that's pretty good.
Okay, look. Here's my first question among many.
Yes.
My first question is, what does it say about your company that the people you're buying are like, we're going to need an all-cash offer for that?
Dude,
They're
they make
like,
so
we
much
don't
money.
want stock in whatever this thing
That's
is that
pretty
you've
hilarious.
got here because it looks dire. Like, what does that say that it was an all-cash offer?
My guess is, so actually, I just assume that literally the browser company is just cash in the bag. Like, that's what it says to me when you get an all-cash offer, is that you are just taking the money.
And
You have
running.
probably some contractual period that some amount of people have to work for a heightened salary for some amount of time. And the other people are just going to be like, and then do the disappearing thing.
100%.
But still, it's like...
I kind of figured they had a bunch of investors they needed to pay back
Okay.
from before. I have no idea. This is just pure
But even
speculation.
then,
Yeah.
if investors were like, oh, we can get a nice chunk of Atlassian now, they would have been like, cool. But here they're like, nope, we do not want that. Like, don't be doing that.
To be fair, Atlassian is the only company I know of that has built a product that is universally hated, and they're a $1 billion company. Like, people hate Jira.
Yeah, Trash.
And they are a
What?
$1 billion company.
you
I'm
got, Trash?
so impressed that a company can make so many things that are so bad, but be like number one and everything. Like, it's like
Are you
it's
talking about
impressive.
Microsoft again? Dude, we're
Yeah,
talking
we
about
talked
Atlassian.
Microsoft last time.
Yeah. But dude, like it's kind of crazy. Like when you just talk to the whole user base and they're just collectively against this company.
Yeah, but you know
That's
who
the
likes it,
magic of
Trash?
enterprise. That's what enterprise is
I
about.
know.
So the
Right.
way enterprise
Managers
software...
love it.
The way enterprise software works is you make absolute dog poop. So think Salesforce or something, right? And then you have like a
There goes that
giant
sponsorship.
apparatus that goes out to someone's company and convinces upper level management that it's really useful, and then they buy it. And then all of your employees hate it. That's enterprise software. That is what it is, right?
This is
the
like
people who are
SAP.
using it don't actually get a say in the decision, which is why it's so terrible.
Yeah, my buddy who works at like a food distribution place used to work in sales. They had their own thing, and then they moved to SAP. He literally was like, I have to get out of here because all I do now is answer customer calls of where did our huge pallets of food go? Because they can't find them anymore. They they had lost so much stuff because they switched their inventory system because big companies use SAP. We're a
Yep.
big company now. And
No,
then
it's
bad.
awful. And this is the same with like all the the HR software and the health insurance management and all that stuff. It's just all like complete garbage, but that's because that is not how it works. Like the people who actually use it have like no say, right? It's somebody who's like looking at like budgetary numbers and compliance issues and legal and all that stuff, and they're just signing off on it, and then everyone gets to suffer. That's like what it is. So it's not surprising because enterprise software just isn't about delivering quality software and never was, as far as I can tell.
So to be fair, I feel like if I were to try to build Jira feature for feature, I might end in a very similar place.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same result for sure.
Yeah, right. Like if I really had to build something that made every manager happy, but tried to make every employee also happy, I think I'd end up in the exact same spot where every employee hates it, half the managers like it, and I'm just like, well, I tried.
Well, I made $1 billion. Whatever.
It's trying to solve the Jira in particular is trying to solve the problem of when our project's going to be finished.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
can't you
good.
just return rand mod?
That
like,
would be a more effective strategy.
yeah, return
be a more
rand
effective
mod
strategy.
2 years or something, and
Yes.
whatever comes back, it's like that. There you go. This
Yes.
is our new AI prediction model.
A bunch of if statements.
So what do we think this browser is going to look like? So I think like in the
great
advertisement they
question.
say it's for like the worker, right? So we have a
Knowledge
tab of,
workers.
Yeah, knowledge worker. We have a tab of
1
like,
billion of them too. Trash. There's
yeah.
1 billion knowledge workers worldwide.
Yeah. I don't even know where that number came from, but sure. I mean, I saw it. I don't know how we derived that. But
How many knowledge twerkers are there exactly? That's what I
exactly
want to
one,
know.
and that's me.
The,
I was gonna try to twerk.
remaining billion. The
Trash,
remaining
do it.
billions.
No, I can't
Yeah,
twerk. I
Trash,
can't twerk.
do it right now. You cannot come out
100%
with that and not.
I
Trash.
cannot twerk,
TJ,
dude.
This is a family-friendly
Oh,
show.
true.
You will
Yeah.
not get trashed. Work on
We'll
this.
save that for Cron Digital. Anyways, go ahead, Trash. Sorry. You were
No,
asking
but-
about knowledge
but-
workers.
Yeah, so they're obviously it sounds like their sales pitch was like you have a lot of tabs, so like Confluence, Trello, God forbid. God forbid you use Trello. I don't know anyone that uses Trello.
Trello
Okay,
is,
what is Trello? Can you guys tell me what the hell Trello is? This by the same company?
Trello is Jira, but with color crayons.
No,
But is it the same company or is it a different company?
it's owned by Atlassian
It's owned
as
by
well.
Atlassian.
And it's
Wait,
a Kanban board. That's it. It's just a drag and
Okay.
drop tasks between places.
So so are you supposed to, if you are a proper enterprise doing serious development,
No,
are you
I think
supposed to have Jira and Trello, or you just
No.
have one or the other?
Trello is for side projects and startups, but not anymore because they got bought by Atlassian, so now it's like lame.
Isn't it linear or whatever is like the new?
That's the
Yeah.
alternative to Jira, right?
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's the new
guys.
computer.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is for me, I feel like this is kind of the funniest thing because everybody I know who liked browsers made by the browser company liked it. I'm going to just say it. Here's my hot take. 97.3% of the reason they liked it was because they had cool promotional videos that made you feel like a cool person. And now they're owned by Atlassian. Your artsy hipster browser is owned by the universally hated enterprise company. How can you get a good product? They're going to get chewed up and spat out by the Jira machine. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's gonna be
Okay.
bad.
To be fair, when they did so Jira did do a 2-minute-ish video, kind of saying why they bought it and how they're going to use AI and we have too many tabs and all that. The browser company did an 18-second video where it just like looked at some leaves and a little mouse came up and just clicked twice and then it just said like coming soon or some
The
crap
next
like
chapter
that.
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. All of their videos are like, so when we did terminal.shop launch week, we parodied like what they did intentionally as like a meme and tried to take ourselves as seriously as they could. And I think we still didn't reach that level. Like, I still couldn't take myself as seriously in a parody as they did. So it's like, I don't know how getting acquired by Atlassian is going to go over with their audience base. It would be like your favorite local coffee shop gets bought up by Starbucks. And they're
Right.
like, we're still going to be independent.
Yeah.
Guys, we're still just a small coffee shop fighting against the
Right.
man. I did
The
take a
browser
3
company of New York is now wearing like a full like 3-piece suit like kind of thing
Yes.
from Wall Street, and they're sitting in Greenwich Village, and you're just like,
Yes.
guys,
They
you're
used
not
to have
passing.
the curly mustache and the bow
Yeah.
tie. Now they
Yeah.
have the suit on and all that.
Yeah.
They're not the hipsters anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And so that part is, I don't know how that's going to go over. As for everybody's reaction who I knew used Arc before, that a lot of them left when the D's nuts scenario happened.
Right.
Like, they were all like, my artsy browser, it's gone.
Serious question. Do you all actually switch browsers? Ever?
I did switch to Zen eventually just to try it out.
Okay.
The side tabs. I wanted to see were the side tabs any
like
good.
I said.
Is it good? Did you find
I
it
actually
way
really
better?
my actually favorite part's the essentials. You actually have like 3 different levels of things you can say as like super important, sort of important, and then just everything else. And like that's
Okay.
been pretty useful.
Okay. It's funny because like I just been using the same setup for years, and I just see all these people like switching to this and this, and then they ultimately come back to where I was, and I'm just like, what?
Casey, what browser are you using? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, Casey.
Microsoft Edge.
Currently Brave, but not for any real reason other than I just wanted a Chromium-based browser because Firefox kind of tanked. Like, it doesn't really... Firefox, like, barely runs anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of questionable, so...
Firefox is actually awful. Firefox,
Yeah.
I'm using Zen is Firefox based. It is awful.
It's pretty bad now, and I don't expect it to get much better, so I don't know, like... I use browsers begrudgingly, obviously, and I don't really have to use them for much actual, like, work, except that now that I do have a website that I have to maintain, it's more work. Like, so I actually do, unfortunately, spend more time in browsers than I would like. So if there was, like, some really amazing browser, that'd be great, but the problem with browsers is usually not the browser, it's the web architecture, so I don't really see how switching a web browser is really going to help much, you know. I don't see it being something that's going to be useful long term. Putting like some kind of random, you know, sprinkling of fairy dust over the top of the same underlying engine is not going to solve any problems that I have, really.
Yeah.
So.
It's almost as if I wish I could order something through SSH, right?
It's true. If only there was an alternative way in which the internet could be
Trash,
bad.
where is your bag?
I don't
Do
have
I need
it.
to order coffee via
you mean?
WSL?
You didn't get it
Prime?
yet?
No, he
Do
did.
I
He
need to do
took a picture of it.
WSL and then SSH and then order coffee?
Yes, you
I
can.
saved this
I don't
to
have
open.
one. I don't have one.
Oh,
that was
trash,
someone
what's up?
else's picture.
Oh, what? You still haven't gotten yours?
No. Was I supposed to get one?
Yes.
100%.
Unless you lied to me and you said you signed up for Cron for no reason and then you didn't do it.
I actually did not.
Okay,
I
well,
completely
then that's why.
forgot. I completely forgot. I will do
Here.
it.
Casey, check this out.
Yes.
That,
Get really
dude, that
close
is
to the camera.
when I get mine. I'm not even gonna open it. I'm just gonna put it in my office.
Trash, I'll send you some more.
Dude,
Here's a
so
question
cool.
for you.
Spring to the tower.
We were making fun of Trash because he did unhashtag ads ad.
Just in case, you know, I don't want to be mistaken about any of this. Could you tell me something about like the flavor and quality of this coffee, since I can't myself experience it right now?
Just to be clear, this is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute an advertisement. I just want that to be clear before we do this, because somebody on here got themselves in a little hot water on X.com, the everything application. This one is a medium blend from Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
It's not just any coffee, not just your hero type. Type hero reference. That one's for you.
Oh.
Yep.
Ah.
Hashtag ad is a harmony of dried fruit, milk chocolate, and floral peach.
Oh.
And
The coffee
we're
is
actually
pretty
going to
good.
add this
That's
bag.
good.
We're going to add this bag to the shop for a little bit as a limited time, so that some people who weren't Cron members can get them. Because I know there's a lot of trash supporters out there. Yeah.
I can't drink caffeinated coffee anymore because I get
What?
too I get too wired.
Casey, we got a sick decaf blend, 404.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
One sec.
and I have not had this, and I don't have a bag of this for what reason again?
Well, when you go to
Because
the
you
top,
haven't gone on to SSH, terminal.shop.
Do I look like someone who knows how to use SSH to you? I'm the person who still does not understand and will never understand why I have to use SFTP to transfer files instead of just when I'm in SSH just saying put the thing. Like how
said
is
you were
that
in
not a
SSH.
thing?
You just said you're in SSH. You just lied to me.
What?
There you go.
Got
There you go,
him.
like this, Casey. 404, caffeine not found.
Yes.
I'll send you some. Talk to me.
But you-
talk to me after.
You guys know what I'm saying, right? Isn't that confusing? I don't understand it. How come you have to like if you're in SSH, why can't you just transfer files through that?
You
Does
can't-
seem like
it's
you should be able
SCP.
to.
SCP, secured copy.
Copy.
You can just type SCP now and copy something from the local machine to the remote machine
Yeah,
without running
80s,
SSH.
the 80s were wild.
Can you actually do that?
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
just
SCP
literally do
exists, I'm
SCP
pretty sure,
dash
yeah.
help. You just it's it's literally just SSH for files.
rsync, true. rsync is even better. It was crazy because like they made rsync and then after that they made Dropbox, and Dropbox is really just rsync wraps.
No. Okay. I want to get this straight. I want to get this straight because you guys might be lying to me here. I want to.
No.
I want to know you're telling
No,
me the truth.
SCP is real.
SCP is real.
It's
So
on every,
if you
like,
are
have,
in an
just open up
SSH
your terminal right now. Use Weasel 2
Okay.
and just type in SCP dash help.
No. I mean, in an SSH
You're in a
session.
SSH. You want to just be like, I'm on this machine. I want to copy something.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking
bidirectionally.
about.
Got you. I don't know if that's possible.
See? This
I
is
see
what I'm
what
saying.
you're
Like, you're right there. You're on the machine. You have a tunnel set up. You just want the thing to transfer a frickin' file. And it's like,
Z upload, is that a thing?
nah, bro.
That sounds like a site
idea.
where you download NX. And you can
Yes, it does.
Okay, I'm
It
just
does.
throwing
Yes,
it out
it
there,
does.
guys.
Yes, it does.
Are you ready to move to the next thing here?
Yes.
At the end of the day, nobody knows what happened with Jira, so we're just gonna have to call that one a no.
Well,
like,
we're gonna have to wait and find out.
I know, but I've talked. Every single person I've talked to just said, I have no idea. I have never understood. I have no idea what they're gonna do with this, other than ruin
it's-
it.
no one's gonna use it. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems confusing. Anyways,
Yeah, go ahead.
all right. So this next section, which I'm calling "Too Much AI," I saw this little tweet earlier, and I thought that maybe you would like to take a little
Good,
look
it wasn't
at
me.
it. Yeah. I said I tried manually coding a feature, and I just can't anymore. It's like I know how to do it, but my body simply refuses to do this manually again, no matter how wrong the LLM agent will be. Is that too much AI? Have we finally hit the peak of too much AI? But hold on, there's more.
Oh.
This little beautiful one right here is everybody's favorite company, Coinbase, which is
Oh.
40% of daily code written at Coinbase is AI generated. And they're trying to get it to 50%.
Hey,
Which
so
honestly, when I hear of a company that is based on irreversible financial transactions, you know what I hope for? High percentage of AI coding.
I was just gonna say, like, so I am looking forward to the next N Coinbase hacks, of which there will be many.
They already leaked
They're
all the data
just
to Mumbai just
generating
recently.
10 million
Yeah, that's what I'm
lines
saying.
of
Like
Tailwind.
it's not gonna change anything, but
They're doing that. That is all Tailwind changes. There's no way they're letting it hit the. He literally says in the tweet on that one, some code should not be AI generated. It's surely that they have like 1 million vibe coders pushing forward random features on the front end, and the diffs are all plus 30,000 lines. You know what I mean? Like that. Please be the case, Coinbase. Please be the case.
They're probably also potentially somehow considering like tab auto completion. Maybe they're like hand waving like 20%, which is just. You know, like they're just saying, "Oh, that also counts." I don't even know how
would
someone
believe it.
even...
I mean, like a lot of code. So I can look at a project, you know, on GitHub or something that was made before AI, and I'm like, yeah, I could believe this was all AI generated. Like the coding quality is like super low, right? It's just like piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of stuff. Clearly Swiss cheese. Like if you were a security researcher, you'd just be like, well, I'm getting a lot of papers out of this, right? So I would believe it. I don't think we did not roll into the AI era with high coding standards. We rolled in with rock bottom coding standards. So I believe people when they say 40%, because I'm like, I can't tell the difference between the code you're writing before and the code that this AI is spitting out. It looks the same. It's just complete garbage where you just pile crap on top of each other and duplicate code 50 million times and do all this. It doesn't look different to me. So I believe people when they say that. Maybe they're lying, but I don't think they have to be, because I could believe it, you know? I don't think Coinbase is a Fort Knox of security, right?
Fort Knox doesn't even have gold in it anymore, Casey.
Yeah, Casey.
Yeah, man.
Actually?
Where's the gold audit? Where's the
Trash.
Fort Knox
Hey,
gold
Trash.
audit?
Trash. You can look
And
it
the
up.
Bill Gates microchips have all the gold in them. They needed the gold for the chips, for the microchips, for the 5G
True.
receivers.
Trash. Look up when was the last time we got to go see in the inside of Fort Knox.
I don't know. The only thing I remember from Fort Knox is in Die Hard with a Vengeance, and that movie was awesome.
Didn't see it.
I didn't see that one.
Love the
All right,
first one,
anyway,
though.
The idea, though, is have we hit... Is this too much AI? Have we finally hit it where people just don't even... They're like, because it's not like LLMs can just do everything. So we're kind of in this weird world where you do have to manually code quite a few things. But if everyone's just like, I don't even want to do it. Like, what does that mean? What does that say for us?
I mean, I use AI to do like the stuff that's just really easy to do. But
What does that mean?
So like, I don't know.
of his work.
Well, my job. No, but like, say if I just have
It's time to show up to the podcast.
no, like I'll have it like run
It's like the
testing
AI's doing
scenarios
my
for
job
me.
right now. Why do you think I could be here?
Dude, I just shipped like 30 new
Okay.
features just now. Okay, I'm getting paid and I'm shipping features. No, but like if it's just like, hey, test this for me in like these different scenarios, or like yesterday I had to like test some caching stuff, and I was like, I gave it some like to dos of like test this scenario for the cache and make sure the cache isn't validated. It just did all the tests for me, from what I could tell properly, or just like small refactor stuff that are just kind of like grunt work. I will always delegate that to the.
I like that
to the
little
AIs.
caveat. From what I could tell, probably.
I will say, Trash.
Like, I told it to test the thing, and it tested the whole thing.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, though, like-
I mean, it worked for like an hour. It must have done something. I don't know.
But like literally like 80% of the time I'm like, that's not right, and it's just like, you're right, I should. And so it's kind of annoying, and at some point I just stop and I do it myself. But you know,
I will
just,
say
like,
though, Trash.
yeah.
Like I'm quite a bit more willing to change like the shape of something if like let's say we have like 10 instances or like 10 to 30 or something, like, because I'm working on Mordoria right now for our game, and like sometimes we like make enemies one way to start and I realize we need to change it. I'm like a lot more willing to change that now than I used to be, because I can just say like, hey, here, I can be like, you know, whatever, cursor or OpenCode or whatever, like here's the file that looks right now, here's the directory of the rest of them, like make them all look like this one.
That's
and then, like, you
literally
go
what
check
I
the diff.
That's literally what I do. I'm like, here's a working example. Just copy it.
Yes.
Don't do anything
and just
else.
like go fix the other ones. There's 20 of them that are the wrong way. We had to like move this thing into this child thing, and now we're passing it here. boom. Because even sometimes sure you could do a macro and you could do some other stuff like that, and like I could get through quite a few of them sometimes like pretty quickly, but sometimes it's not quite so obvious, right? It's like I'm changing the name of something to be slightly different, and it's not really like macroable really or whatever. That is an easy way to generate 5,000 lines of code.
Exactly.
That is essentially zero in a way, right? Because it's like it's like I changed a bunch of stuff. Sure, it's AI generated, so it's like technically it's true, but it's really like I just ran a macro, like
right.
on this thing. So it's more like it's the change number of lines. Like for some reason we think measuring how much code AI writes is good by lines of code, but we would never decide whether a software developer is a good software developer at a company by measuring how many lines of code they did this year. There's some stuff like, did they write any? Like, okay, well, they got to write something to do something good. So there's some cases where it's obvious, but you wouldn't be like, Tom over there, he wrote 100,000 lines last week in J Diesel, and so he's really the guy that we love. Tom's a genius. You'd be like, no.
In general, it's usually the other way around. So I would usually measure productivity by features and how few lines of code it took.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So like if you tell me you can implement this feature in 100 lines of code, that's way better than someone who's like, oh man, I implemented that feature and the AI wrote 30,000 lines of code. I'm like, because I see that a lot online, and I'm like, do you guys have any idea what you can do in C in 30,000 lines of code, let alone like something like Python?
We could have
where you
put
got
a
all these
whole
libraries?
game inside your application.
Like you literally can do an entire game engine in around 10,000 lines of code if you want to, right? And so you did 30,000 lines of code, and they're like, I moved this button, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, how is this possible? So there is a lot of that where I look at the things that people are stating as like supposed evidence that things went well, and I'm like, that sounds terrible. But again, I mean, I think when you roll in with such rock bottom standards, I mean, that apparently skates as something that is quote unquote evidence that this is working well, but sounds like it's working terribly.
I would love to see, we have 90% of our code that's getting deleted is by AI.
Yeah,
Right? Like
that's
the
what you
AI
want.
is going through,
That's what you want.
and it's
AI
finding,
bros. That's what it should be. It should be like I ran this thing on this 500,000 line GitHub repo, and it reduced it to 50,000 lines, and it still does all the same stuff. That's the AI you actually want, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Can
Maybe.
it reduce entropy? That's
Yes.
what
Yeah.
I want. So far, I've seen it add a lot of entropy to my systems, which
Yes.
sometimes it needs. That's okay. It can still be productive and helpful. Or you're in JavaScript land and everything's entropy. There's no such thing as just, I got to install 37 tools to get through my day. But yeah, I would love to see more like, hey, 30% of our PRs are code reduction PRs by AI. It starts up stuff and like finds patterns that we wrote the same 37 times throughout the code base and wraps it up into one. Solves it.
Which
for
it feels like it should be able to do, but for some reason is not doing. So I don't know. Like, I don't really know what's going on there, if it's just a case of, like, the people who are training these things don't train them properly or what. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a really hard problem.
It's a lame demo compared to one-shotting something. I think that's one of, honestly, that's one of the big problems is, like, a lot of stuff
It's based on the demo.
is 0 to 1 and not, 38 to 42. Right?
Right.
They don't really care about 38 to 42 as much.
Are these football terms? Because I don't know.
I'm
That
saying
was
like
60
0 to
miles an
1.
hour.
Like
Yeah.
the touchdown and
Yes.
like
No, I was just
wide
say
receiver.
0 to 1, like, I don't have any code to, like, a minimum, like an MVP.
Right,
And I'm
right.
saying,
I
like,
knew that one, but I didn't know
Okay.
the 38 to 42.
I just picked two random numbers of, like, farther
Okay.
in the future.
All right.
Yeah,
I still don't get it.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
I
Just doing a scale of 0 to 60. 60 being your.
I was just making
your
up
flying.
random numbers
Okay.
and hoping
I just
that
want
they weren't
I just
a dog
want the
whistle.
code to get somewhat better. Like I just want things to improve, and right now AI seems to be doing the opposite. That's the thing, right?
So I don't think they could do even what you're saying with the whole like find patterns and reduce it. I'm not sure if AI can do that because it might. Because I'm positive if you took Tree Sitter and you just said how many like similar patterns do I have in my code base, just like structurally speaking, you could find patterns all over the place throughout your code base structurally, and it's just like what does it mean to an AI to find things of similar pattern or shape? You might. I'm not sure if this might be actually a really hard problem that is not very obvious to us because for us it's very easy to see what should be or I know I say that so flippantly, but a lot of people get it wrong. But you get the idea that it's easy to look at things and be like, oh, I can make this more simple by moving it to here. But that's also one of those amazing parts about humans is it takes 100 neurons to tell if something's a cat, and it takes trillions of operations for an LLM to see if something's a cat. Right? It's just
Yeah,
like
well, I mean,
the
but-
vast difference is incredible.
I just mean like, all right, I mean, that could be true, in which case AI is just doomed, right? But I'm like, if all the people out there who are AI optimists, I'm like, you should be showing me this. Like, show me the thing that actually does something good instead of the thing that always poops out poop, right? Like, in coding, it feels like we're still at the thing where it like generates 17 fingers on the guy's hand in the photo, right? Like, that's where it feels like we're at in code. And so, like, I want to see someone that's like, no, it can actually draw a human fairly reliably now. Like get us there at some point, please.
Yeah,
because people are using these tools and they're very bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've had good success if like the problem is well scoped. It's in a like code base that has similar patterns, and I can say like the one we were saying before. And Trash, I think you've said you've done this too, of just like, hey, I changed this one, I updated it. Now I need you to go do this in like 40 files. Just go spend some tokens, burn some electricity, and solve this for me. Like, that actually has worked really well for me, and it is nice because it like frees me up to fix my previous mistakes, right? In the sense that like sometimes you'd be like, it's just not really worth it to like go and change the structure of this because you're gonna go find all the places and do all this stuff. If you can just be like, go find all the places and fix those for me. It's nice. So I've used it like for a wide range of stuff, but I do think people would be like better served by showing real examples of like, I pointed at this code base and it reduced 2,000 lines of code. That for me, I would be like, that's awesome. I would be way more excited for your project.
Yeah, it feels like it would be very useful and what is more needed, like in a lot of these projects that I see, like they're just, when I look at them, I'm like, okay, you guys literally took like 10,000 lines of code to do something that's like literally 100 lines of code, just because no one really knew what was going on. And I maybe that's something AIs can't do in the near term, but it kind of doesn't feel like that should be the case. I just feel like they probably just don't have good training sets to like. They probably just don't have a way to really train it to do that right now, but, you know. That
was one of the things we didn't get to it last episode, but, like, I think, honestly, one of the things people are underestimating about the training data on GitHub is not just that you have code there, but that you can actually see the changes over time. And, like, training on diffs and other stuff like that.
Right.
Or recently I saw an article where OpenAI, maybe, and Microsoft or someone else, I don't know, was thinking about licensing like cursor edits or something for people who have like that turned on or whatever. Like,
yeah, because it needs to see that. But of course, the problem is if everyone is doing the thing that I'm complaining about, which is, hey, I just spammed out 10,000 lines of code to move the button over here or whatever, then that means the AI learns that way, and that's a problem, right? So, and I don't know how you fix that problem other than you have to shift the way that you're doing your AI to one that's more of an adversarial training process, like more like an AlphaGo kind of a thing, which I guess they just haven't really quite gotten enough of that into the process yet or whatever.
I'm still going to have a job writing code later because they're going to just be paying me to write code to train AI off me. See, so that's my job security, Casey.
Do you think it's going to be like a boutique thing in the future where it's like, you kind of like have an officially licensed, like kind of like, you know, you have an officially licensed sport, like this is Michael Jordan's shoe. Ooh. It's like, this is TJ's, like, you know, AI that you use and it programs like him or whatever, or you can be like him when you program.
We should do that. I want Trash as my coding buddy the whole time. He's like, great work. Let's eat a Dorito. You know what I mean? I'm like,
I want to be the modern day Clippy. All right.
There you go.
Can you just imagine me? Like, can you imagine me just in the bottom right hand of your corner? I'm just like, dude, that's sick.
Trash, we need to make that. We actually need to make that.
It looks like you're trying to be incredibly baller. Go for it.
You know what? You deserve a Dorito. Let's go.
All right, so
I gotta go to jujitsu. I'll be right back. And then it just disappears for like 2 hours.
Don't ask for me for like a couple hours. I gotta go work out.
And there's a little silhouette of it, like going, like doing all this stuff and like throwing the
like
dude
when you could
across
have the
your
dancing
desktop.
avatars on Windows. When they had those, like you could have The dancing
baby.
avatars. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, that
Alright,
stuff
so
is
I'm
evolved
gonna
now.
steal
You
man.
know that, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's an entire market of idle games that run down in the taskbar, basically, like on the bottom of your Windows desktop. So, that could be where trash is ultimately headed.
Yeah, I like that. Trash. We can make that happen. We can immortalize you.
True.
Trash idlers.
That
A
would
new genre of trash
Kinda
idlers.
cool.
All right, so I'm gonna attempt to steel man some of the AI. I think things that has been flowing through a lot of like the normies thought process on this all, which is that computers are fast enough to process a lot of code, and we call these things like tech debt or poorly written code. But if an AI can fix the poorly written code, and it doesn't matter how many times it's copied, it doesn't matter about all of that. If it just keeps on abstracting you away and it's just able to take care of all of those headaches, it doesn't matter if the diff was 10 lines or 1,000 lines. Because at the end of the day, computers are fast enough, and we should be able to produce out the exact feature set we want, regardless of the quality of the code. And when I need to refactor, I don't think about refactoring. I'm just like, hey, update this, and it goes and it finds all the places, and it does either the manually updating or maybe, God forbid, it reduces entropy and does some sort of refactoring. But at the end of the day, it's just like, no, that's not a problem. That's not the way we think about things.
Well, there's several problems with it, right? The very first one and most important one for this domain is security. Because the more lines of code you have, the more exploits you have, almost always, right? So that's problem A, because a lot of times we're talking about like web development stuff. So it's not like a video game or something where you're just running it in some situation where maybe you just don't care because it's like completely, it's on the PlayStation and it's completely isolated process or whatever, who knows. Thing two is performance is already abysmal. I mean, I'm already sitting here, I click a button and I wait, like
I'm not
sometimes
saying this is a good thought, by the way. This is just me trying to steel man them as much as possible.
The problem is computers aren't fast enough. They just aren't. We've still managed to slow them down. And the problem is the way in which they slow down right now is very, very, very tied to the structure of what you're doing. So if you have your AI is generating all these like server round trips or whatever because that implements the feature, well, your customers will be waiting longer and longer and longer to click the button or to open up the app or all the other things, which people claim is fine. But whenever anyone does a study, they find that like every additional 100 milliseconds costs them money, like costs them actual revenue, right? And so it's not okay, right? It's not okay to sacrifice performance because not only does it ruin everything for everybody who actually uses your software, but it actually does end up hurting you in the long run too. So that's a problem. Thing number three is, wait, where's the electricity coming from? Someone still needs to explain where the electricity is coming from, right?
Lightning? Casey, come on, dude.
I was gonna say Zeus.
What are you talking about, dude? That's how we get our electricity. We just get lightning.
I really
literally
still at some
shoots it
point
at
want to
us.
hear where the electricity's coming. It's going to be building more nuclear power plants, I guess. I'm not sure.
That's exactly
but
what's gonna
obviously,
happen.
like we've had
Nuclear.
this whole push of like everyone in Silicon Valley is falling all over themselves to tell us what great people they are and how wonderful they are and how they're on the right side of all these social causes. And they're like, also, by the way, we're going to use roughly the power consumption of Germany for all of our data center things added up, right? I mean, I think Germany's like 60 gigawatts, and one AI data center is 1 gigawatt.
Can I give you a fun fact?
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research on this. So to fly a fully loaded jet from LA to New York happens about 22 to 26 times a day.
Okay.
It would take approximately 183 days of full flights back and forth to equal 1 day of ChatGPT
Yeah.
processing power in GPT-5.
It's not good, right?
That's
This
crazy.
is not good.
Yeah, so every 2 days is a year worth of burning that much stuff.
When
It's
I
not
watched
good.
Back to the Future, though, he just did it like in his car. He made a lot of gigawatts, Casey. So, like, I don't understand what the concern is.
Well, the concern is just like where it's going to come from, and maybe the answer is like we build more nuclear power plants or something, which might be fine, but that is not happening currently. So I don't know. Is it just we're burning coal or something, which is not going to be a good outcome, right?
the
We're
thing
sucking
along that.
dinosaur juice clean out of the ground, buddy.
Just suck that dinosaur. Suck the dinosaur juice. This is the thing. People want dinosaurs
TJ had a
back.
joke
So
ready
if
and
we
he
had a
just if we
serious
put it
point.
all back in the air, we can have dinosaurs again. We can make the planet warm enough for dinosaurs again. This is the whole point of the whole thing,
I've
right?
seen the movie. The dinosaurs die at the end, and then Scarlett Johansson has to go to an island and save people.
I would love to see a dinosaur
like in
so
Chat
bad.
GPT. You remember? Sam got
what?
in a little bit of trouble with that.
What,
I don't.
What had happened?
He tried to clone. He asked if Scarlett Johansson wanted to be the voice of ChatGPT. She said nah,
Oh,
so he got a
right.
copycat
Yeah,
version
right,
of her.
you're right,
And then
yeah.
it was like, oh, we didn't get you. We got someone else.
That was
Yeah.
like the beginning of the whole AI
Yeah.
craze.
Okay, my serious thing that I want to say about what you were saying, Casey, too, is that, like, it even if you think AI is still going to write all your code, it's actually better if AI can do it more concisely for regular people because you're going to pay by the token. But that actually leaves a perverse incentive
It sure
for
does.
AI companies who, at least for people training models, I think like Cursor would prefer you to take less tokens because
Right.
they don't want to have to charge you more money.
Right.
Right. But like OpenAI, they like
Yes.
if all the code takes a lot of tokens and it churns a lot all the time. Because then they say, excellent. Your entire business depends on you sending this back to me and you don't know what to do with it. So they're like, they have a very perverse incentive actually to like, well, we'll just keep pushing the context window bigger. That's really what you need. You really need 2 million tokens of context. And load that bad boy up. Load it up. You know, like...
Which also
would-
means that they have agent problems too, right? Oh, you know what? Our agents are going to get extra smart. They're going to double check every file.
Right.
Yeah.
I would also point out that so one of the nice things about a current data center, like if you were just look at like a data center that you built for, I don't know, AWS or something, or a Google data center, for the most part, they're pretty multi-purpose. Like you can do lots of different stuff with it. You know, you could run some really slick, very custom, very efficient application on it that was written to bare metal or whatever you want, right? You could do all kinds of stuff. Or you can run like 12 layers of bloated Python. You could do whatever you want,
Sick.
right? And the data center will they're pretty general purpose, and there might be certain use cases that they're maybe not optimal for, but it can adapt, right? And so all of us out there can use it for various reasons. An AI data center can only do one thing, and one thing only, and that is low precision matrix multiplies. That's basically it. Like it's not going to do anything else well. It's not going to be power efficient doing anything else. It's going to be very power hungry if you were to run anything else on it, because most of the equipment in it and the entire structure, and like it's liquid cooled, right? It's not going to be air cooled like a normal data center, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are some data centers that are liquid cooled, but either way, I'm saying like they're designed totally differently and they have way more power being pushed through them because that's how AI is a very sustained high load kind of a thing. So we're also building out a tremendous amount of infrastructure that's completely useless for anything else but this. And that also sucks, in my opinion, because what if this turns out to not be that great? What if we find there's a much better way to be doing this stuff? Like, what happens to all of this build out? So that's not very encouraging either, in my opinion. But I guess their answer is just, well, we'll just build more data. So like, all right. I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't love this kind of stuff. I like general purpose computing. I don't like this hyper specialized kind of thing. But that's where we're at.
Confirmed, Casey likes Python 12 layers of things over CUDA. Got it. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
I mean, but I hate to say it, but actually, yes. Like,
Oh, we got him.
that's
boys.
kind of true. Like, I love GPUs and I love GPU programming. I think that's very interesting if you're a gamer and you bought one.
What's that
Right?
Better Software Conference?
Yeah.
You're not inviting Casey back this year?
Yeah, exactly. But I love the fact that the data center can do that. I love that.
Yes.
yeah.
I absolutely hate the fact that I have to use code that's 16 layers of Python deep or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I absolutely love the fact that that worked.
Yes,
and an
that's
AI
true.
data center literally
That's true.
cannot run that. It would just roll over and die, right? So,
Just ask the AI to evaluate it and guess what the output would be.
I mean, I shouldn't say it can't run
Who
it.
needs
I mean,
16
obviously
layers
it
when you got
can
AI?
run it. It can run it. It just costs so much more power to run it is the right way
Yeah.
to say it, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
it's not like
Yes.
it can't. It's just, it's so much less efficient.
Yeah.
So,
Well, That was pretty neat. Casey,
It's a cool story.
it was a
from
cool
me
story.
To you.
I agree with you, but hey, guess what? I think that means we're done for the day, huh?
Signing off for Friday.
Signing out for Friday.
See ya later.
Great Friday, everyone.
Boot up the day, vibe coding, errors on my screen, terminal coffee in hand, living the